Tell us when we're live here.
Live streaming is on.
Hello, JoshWho TV Land. How is everybody doing out there? This is Censorship Sucks, and I've got Satori D with me here. And we're going to walk through everything related to the new Minds token system and what to expect out of it, what it's looking like so far, how we can earn tokens in different ways, and yeah, there's a lot to this. So we wanted to give everybody, as much information as we have right now to get everyone up to speed. And Satori, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Checking out the new system. And actually, before we were doing this, we noticed that something, real quick that I think is not connected right now is when you go into the earn, and we were trying to do the transfer on chain, and it's not connected to your balance, which is right here. And so earlier we were trying to trade it and transfer, and that's kind of important to know, especially too when Minds does these rollouts. There's sometimes broken links and things that are not connected. But earlier, before everything happened, I did it this other way, where you go into the analytics, and then you go into the tokens, and you go to your rewards. This is how I first found it before it was even connected. And then you go into your transfer. And then now it's connected to your balance. But right now the gas fees are fucking crazy. But anyways, that's how one would transfer onto your wallet from. And you should eventually, if this thing gets worked out, you will get incentives to do that. And so you get a score just like your engagement for your content and and then so that's a different pool, your network score in that, and then you get your shares of whatever that is. So you get more tokens for transferring, but right now it's ridiculous to do it. And the same thing for the liquidity pools, which is another very interesting thing that I tried before, and thank God I did, because it didn't cost me nearly as much as what they're asking right now to do it, which is crazy. And same thing, you get points for doing that, and there's another network score where your share is at, and that will be interesting moving forward if the gas fees come down and we could actually move our tokens on this new system more reasonably, which would be cool. And then what we were exploring before too, and I think which is important later. And once again, I did this before the system on the yesterday was the 16th when it's supposed to be all live, I guess. And so, I initially put up some tokens, and we were looking at the pool and the liquidity, and it's what I see is a pretty. And once again, if it starts circulating more and people start using it, it's a good way to have what me and Mac once were talking about, a economic engine for a social project. So I want to go back to something Curry Hobo posted, and it's probably a struggle for a lot of us that are creating. I could see it on my computer. My hard drive is getting filled up because I have 5 years of video editing on there, and there's some programs because I did pretty good on an Ether trade, so I invested that into buying some of the professional programs, and that made my job a lot easier, which was fun. And so I connect to when Curry Hobo says that he wants to keep on continue on with his podcast and how he scribbles along, and we have interviews and that he needs a little help, and all of us too, ideally we want to move to Linux machines and have different hardware, and this I think is a way in a sense to have, let's say, this economic engine. Because say, this vapor test, and then I provide a liquidity pool for it, and then whenever the vapor test is over in a year or two or whatever, however steady you want to do it, and whatever, and at any time you could take it out of the pool and then divvy it up or whatever you want to do. And then by the end, in just a week of holding it, it went up, 35%.
You've made $50 on $150 in 1 week.
In 1 week.
That's insane.
That's insane.
That's
imagine if that was $1,000, right?
Mhm.
That's what we're talking about, the possibilities, what we could do in these new economic tools. Now, there's problems with the gas fees as we're just trying to explore it just to test it out is a real hurdle, and that's something hopefully tomorrow I could get more deeper into with Sofuego Corey. But just real quick, those things are there, and right now, as we explore, seems not practical to use right now. But hopefully, this is something that we could all do, right? Mm-hmm. And we could do it at the level that we are, so that when we're done with these creative projects, we're gonna have a real return in our creative work, or whatever the project is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already starting to, like, I'm shocked at the value of my, tokens.
Yeah.
How many I've built up over the years. I've built up a lot over the last 3 or 4 years with, 20,000 subs, and I would play a little bit on Uniswap and try to buy low and sell high, and buy low and sell high, and repeat and repeat and repeat. Oh, yeah. And so I was able to get off a number of really good trades over there over the years, and together it's combined to really give me quite a large number of them, and I'm very excited about that, because it's a real reward now that potentially in the thousands of dollars from just using a social media site.
Yes.
And I've already taken 1 ether out and cashed it in from just purely that I earned from mines, and so that's like a lot of money right there. So
heck yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. I'm really shocked by it. So, okay, let's start with, if you're just new here at Mines and you don't know much about how to make tokens, you get tokens when people like, remind, or comment on your posts, right? On anything that you put up, any unique page that you make, and they go and interact with it, you're going to get a reward for that. One person can only give you 1 like, remind, and comment per day, because we don't want it used to be that somebody could come along to my channel, and this has happened a bunch of times, and I love the guy for it, where I would be sitting there and all of a sudden I'd see my notification going crazy. I think it was Ashtera. He would like everything I posted until he got down to where he'd gotten back to, he couldn't like anything else, right? And I mean, it would just pour in. They would flood in the door when he would do that. So I loved it. You also get referrals. There it is right there. Referrals can be very lucrative, actually, especially for pro users, because you get 25%. If you're Mines Pro, you get a 25% commission on anything someone who refers you over to Mines does. So, if you refer someone over who pays upfront for a year's worth of pro, you're getting 25% of that. Was like $150 or something.
Yeah.
So that's big money. And if they go and buy, let's say 1,000 tokens, you know what I mean? You're going to get 25% of that. So there's some big money potentially to be made with the pro system, but that's a whole nother thing. And I can't wait for Mines to kind of grow, so my channel is big enough that it can really take advantage of that. I can do well in like big months, in January, I had pro on because I was just, getting flooded with all kinds of new people when we had that migration, And so, that worked out for me that month. Although they paid me in tokens, even though I paid in cash, which I'm not even going to raise because the system's now in place. So I'm like, whatever, I kind of want the tokens more than the cash anyway. Because it's like, to me, it's a big savings account. I can, one of these days I'm going to go down to Mexico for 6 months, and Mine's going to pay for the whole damn thing.
Hell yeah. Right? That's how I feel like when I'm thinking about just like something that I want to test out would be maybe in a year or so, maybe more around the summertime. I go and visit Curry and Kevin is building the studio, and then we spend like a month starting off the first major shoot of the Mines Underground.
And by Kevin, you're talking about KDJH, right?
Yeah, KDJH.
Interviewed him, cool guy, and he does live up in British Columbia, and that sounds like a wonderful place.
Yeah, and we had this early on idea in Imaginarium to do a documentary, and he's always been kind of working towards that. So it would be cool to see if like we could start like the first major step in actually producing this kind of cool documentary, but it'll be mine, Satori D style, of course, with initially me, Curry, and Kevin started off, and I think later seeing just how things go and seeing how we could work the system in creative and innovative ways to invest money and then initially from a year from now, like do this nice crazy trip and do something really special and really nice, like really manifest that Minds movie. I said when you tagged me in that group and everybody was talking, and then I explored the group, I was like, no one's using this group right. Like, I guess I'll do it. And I proposed my idea, and then I kind of liked it, and then I was just like, I'm gonna start like doing it, and but I think that's this is the possibility that we have now, like just like initially what I've done already with that, but hopefully now we could start really using it. And I said too earlier, even before the system, we have an initial system. Hopefully, more people buy into is the Plus, and I'm hoping. And I want to see. I got to look into the GitLab because I know Corey proposed like having time release or time like have it like for a couple of days or a week or whatever, and then it could be like not a Plus thing, and it's like more for the public or whatever, because I don't like necessarily having all the videos or everything like that. And like, but my thing is like, I want people to use it